Hey guys, Brittany Lake here. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I cannot believe that May is almost over. It is crazy. Speaking of, May 28th is the last day to enroll in the 10-week intuitive weight loss program this round. So if you're wanting to lose some weight this summer, naturally, permanently, without giving up the foods you love, make sure to sign up for the program. But tonight, I wanted to jump on and give you guys some free tips. I noticed that there was a couple questions in the group today when I asked what you guys wanted me to talk about. So I thought I would answer some questions as well as some other thoughts that I had today. But first, for those of you who are new to the group, welcome to Intuitive Weight Loss, where we ditch the diet drama and learn how to heal from the thin side out. And we lose the weight eating intuitively for our body. And what that means is that we learn how to recognize true hunger signals versus false hunger signals. And we wait to eat until our body is at a level 3 hunger. And we stop eating once we're at a level 7 fullness. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure to get your free hunger and fullness scale from the resources page at brittnylake.com. So you can print that out and start practicing right away to learn how to eat within those natural boundaries of hunger and fullness. I have found that these are kind of like the universal laws for how to manage your body's happy weight without having to diet, without having to hit the gym every day. And that's how I lost over 70 pounds. So you want to have that in your possession if you are new. And if you're not new and you're watching this and you've been watching me for a while, hopefully you've already got that as well. But one of the questions that came in today that I thought I would discuss was, Donna asked, how do you plan for social things like meeting family for dinner at a restaurant if you're waiting on a hunger level 3 or you already ate with a spontaneous invite to go eat out? This is going to happen a lot, especially when we are really committed to eating intuitively for weight loss. It's not going to work if we don't wait for a level 3 hunger consistently. We need to be at like 90 to 100% consistently waiting for a level 3 hunger before eating, or else it's not going to work. Because it's while we're waiting for hunger that the body burns fat. We don't want to stay hungry once we reach a level 3 because that actually slows down the metabolism, and your subconscious mind begins to think that maybe food is scarce, and so it slows down the metabolism. And we don't want to do that, but we want to wait and empty out and actually get to a level 3 hunger before we eat, which is why in intuitive weight loss, we don't snack. There's no snacking in between hunger cues. Water is the only healthy snack, and your body doesn't need it if it's got extra fat reserves. It's got plenty of fuel and calories in the fat reserves to eat off of. It doesn't need a snack. And it doesn't want a snack. It wants to be thin, and it wants that opportunity to eat up the fat reserves. When you're at your body's happy weight, then it's easy to sneak in a snack and not affect the scale. But when you've got a substantial amount of weight to lose, the body doesn't want a snack in between hunger cues. It really wants that opportunity to eat up its own fat reserves during that time. And so you've got to wait until your body's at a level 3 hunger, which is a feeling of emptiness plus some sort of discomfort in the stomach, like a hollow, burning, gnawing, twist, ache, or sometimes a growl. Not always a growl, but it's any sort of emptiness plus a discomfort. That's your level 3 hunger. And you can grab the hunger scale at brittnylake.com/resources. I believe it's on the resources page. So it's very important that you wait. So Donna, I am so happy that you are understanding that this is a priority and it's starting to affect your social life right now. And I'm so sorry, but it's something that we have to do. This process is amazing, but there are some downfalls because with social events, it makes it hard. But there are some great things you can do. So here are some tips if you're wondering, how does eating intuitively for weight loss and really committing to it work when you've got social events and things that come up, or people are eating with you at different times and you're not hungry yet? That's a big problem. But you know what? There are a lot worse problems to have, like cutting out sugar, like cutting out carbs. I would find that is way, way worse. So we can totally deal with the awkward social stuff while we're eating intuitively for weight loss. So here are some tips. My go-to thing is if I'm not hungry And I've just got invited to go to a social thing, like if someone invites you to go eat and you're not hungry yet, or you just ate, you don't have to turn the event down. But you do want to have something with you. I like to bring a diet drink of some form. Any diet drink will do. I like Zevias. They don't have aspartame in them, if that bothers you, but aspartame is totally fine too. If you're trying to lose weight, it's not going to affect your weight loss. But some people can't handle aspartame well. So you just got to listen to your body and know how it feels. So I love Zevias. This is a Zevia Cola. It's really good. And this one doesn't have caffeine, but they do have ones that do. I don't like caffeine in the evenings because there's no way I can go to sleep afterwards. So I like to either buy a diet drink while I'm at the restaurant or bring one with me to a social event, like if it's a family gathering, and I keep this in my hand so that way I'm not tempted to go to food and put it in my mouth, because we get really mindless, naturally when we are around people who are eating. And another great tip for social events is sometimes I'm not quite hungry yet, like I'm at a level 4 and everyone's eating, but I'm committed and I want to lose weight naturally. And the only way to do that is to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you can't lose weight. You'll either maintain your weight or the scale you'll lose and gain the same 2 pounds if you're not at least 90% consistent with this process. So another thing you could do is just tell your friends you're not hungry yet, but order your food in a to-go box. And so that way you're still ordering something, you can get your diet drink, and then when you are at a level 3 hunger, then you can start eating that, or maybe you'll just take it home. But you never have to turn away food as well. Like when I go to church events and things, they always have tons of sugary treats, right? I never turn them down. What I like to do is I take a Tupperware and I take one of everything and I put it in my Tupperware and I stick it in my purse and I just eat it when I am hungry. Or maybe I never get around to it because it never sounds good. But saying no and turning it down causes me to feel deprived. And it's feeling deprived that causes you to want to overeat, right? So I say it's so important that you never turn down food. You simply save it and you take it to go and you eat it when you are hungry if you still want it. But often our overeating issues and our binge issues or emotional eating, a lot of those can be triggered simply because we've come from a restrictive diet background. And if you want good health, you got to learn how to stop overeating and binge eating. And that starts with food freedom, really allowing yourself food freedom, which brings me into another thing I wanted to talk about today. So I was on Pinterest earlier. I love Pinterest. There's always really great, insightful things on there. And I ran into an article by somebody else, and it was titled, How to Recover from a Binge Eating Episode. And I thought, oh, cool, this will be great. So I was reading it and I was like, oh no. There were so many things that I totally disagreed with. And it made my heart hurt because there were people reading that thinking that those methods are going to help them, but it's actually going to hurt them. So make sure you understand this, that if you want to end your issues with overeating and binge eating, food freedom is the foundation of that. Really allowing yourself to have what you want when you are hungry and not food shaming. How many of you watching are still struggling with food shaming? I'd be curious to know. So leave a comment if that's an issue. But we've got to have that at our foundation first, and then we can focus on nutrition. But right now, the healthiest thing you can do for yourself is learn how to heal overeating and binge eating. And we've got to get rid of those triggers first. Whenever we are deprived of something or restricted from something, we want it even more. So in this Pinterest article, it was saying that if you have binged, you need to immediately start eating raw foods. Lots and lots of raw foods and chugging water. And the worst thing it said was that you needed to commit from that moment forward to go as long as possible without any junk food of any kind for as long as possible after a binge, claiming that your body really wants to get all that out of its system, which is true. But what they're doing is when someone does that, they immediately start restricting again they're just building up to another overeating or binge eating episode, because nobody binges unless they're restricting on some level. The kind of food they're eating, or the amount of food, or food in general, or skipping meals. And binge eating is directly related to some sort of restriction. So yes, we will get there. We will get to that point where we are nutritionally focused. But the major issue with being overweight is overeating. And we have to heal the underlying causes of why we're overeating first. And food freedom is a part of that healing process. Now, you can enjoy food freedom and still lose weight, like I have. Sorry, I feel like I've got something hanging on my nose. That's weird. And that was a huge, huge healing process for me to go through. People don't believe me, but it's really important that you allow yourself to eat the kind of foods that sound good to you, that would sound satisfying to you, and that make your body feel good. And the more and more you allow yourself that, the easier it will be to make sensible food choices for yourself down the road after you've healed from this overeating and binge eating stuff. And you'll start to pay attention to foods that make you feel good and foods that don't make you feel good. And because there are no more forbidden foods that are overpowering your ability to choose wisely, that won't be there anymore. And you'll be able to make your food choices based off of what makes you feel good. And foods that make you feel good are higher in nutritional value anyway. So trust me on this. If you want permanent results, you've got to start embracing food freedom. You'll get to the nutrition part of it, but that is after we've healed the overeating and binge eating, and you're managing that well. So focus on mastering eating within the boundaries of hunger and fullness. Really commit to that. Come prepared with diet drinks when you can, because that's not going to interfere with your blood sugar levels in between meals, and your body will still be able to burn through other fat reserves while you're waiting for hunger, if you're enjoying a non-caloric beverage of some kind. So I hope that helps, and I hope that makes the case here that you really don't want to. The way to solve binge eating is not to go back to restricting immediately and see how long you last. That's just a recipe for failure, you guys. Binge eating, the root of that is some form of restriction at some point. And in order to heal that, you've really got to embrace food freedom and not shame yourself because of what you're craving and what sounds satisfying to you. I have lost over 70 pounds without dieting, without restricting food groups. I did not think it was possible. I thought the only way to reach this weight, which I haven't been since middle school, was to deprive myself of every food that I loved, was to say goodbye to carbs and sugar and white flour and fats or meat, whatever. There's a million things people are trying to restrict you from lately. And I thought that that's what was required if I wanted to be worthy of being naturally thin and not overweight anymore. And that was totally wrong. And I was doing it the wrong way for 15 years, you guys. And it was the root of my weight issues was because of all the restrictive yo-yo dieting. Dieting is actually scientifically proven to cause overeating. And I talk about this and so much more in the free training. You guys, I hope you have watched this. You can now watch it at my site at brittnylake.com. The actual link is in the title of this video. It's bit.ly/secrets of the naturally thin. You'll want to watch this free training to give you the full context of things that I'm talking about tonight, to help you learn how to get started losing weight naturally, permanently, without dieting, and why this case for food freedom is so important to your healing and your permanent weight loss success and your overall health. I know, it sounds crazy that you can enjoy food freedom and have the best health of your life, but I promise you will get there if you allow yourself to go through this process. And of course, if you need extra help, I am always here to help you. My 10-week program is starting Monday, May 28th. And I'm doing free 10-minute calls this week for those that want to learn more about the program, and you can do that at BrittanyLake.com. But you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. I hopefully you've enjoyed these free tips today, and make sure you get that free training. Everyone in this group needs to understand the rest of this context, and I go over that in a 55-minute long free training at bit.ly/secrets of the naturally thin. The link to that is in the title of this video. You guys have a great night. Bye.